Welcome to Marketing and Mindset for Wellness Coaches, the podcast for health coaches and wellness entrepreneurs just like you who are building a business, making the world a healthier place, and designing a first-class life. I'm your host, Kim Foster, MD and certified business coach, and I'm on a mission to help you up-level your strategy and raise your mindset so you can truly thrive and grow your business. Let's get started. Hello, welcome to today's episode. You've got Kim here, and I am really looking forward to doing this episode today because this is something that I talk to my clients about all the time, and it's a question that I am frequently asked, especially inside my group programs. And so I'm excited to break this down for you. Today, we're going to talk about the 5 signs that you should watch for, signs that it's time to start outsourcing and hiring a virtual assistant to do some tasks for you and eventually start building a team to support and grow your coaching business. Because as you grow, that team will make you more money than if you tried to do every single task in your business yourself. So we're going to talk about why people wait to outsource. Then we're going to get into some details about hiring freelance service contractors like VAs or virtual assistants. And we're going to talk about leveraging the expertise of others so that you can concentrate on your own actual money-making areas of brilliance and skill. So let's get into today's topic without further ado. Now, let's begin tackling one of the biggest reasons why many entrepreneurs don't outsource, let alone build a team. And that is they don't know what they're missing. For example, they don't realize how valuable their own time is. So they fritter it away, taking the time to learn how to perform a task that others could do in a fraction of the time. They spend their time on tasks that don't directly bring a return on investment, stuff like uploading posts for the month to your blog or running maintenance on a website instead of actually working with clients or having discovery calls to enroll a new client. It makes a lot more sense to give those administrative and, quite frankly, money-losing tasks to somebody else who, A, loves doing admin work and who is experienced, fast, and competent at that work, and B, is demanding significantly less per hour than you. It really is a matter of expense versus investment. And I want you to look at it this way. If you normally charge your clients, let's say $125 an hour, and if you are spending 5 hours a week taking care of administrative or maintenance tasks, and you could be spending that time seeing clients, you are actually losing $625 a week in billable time. If you hire somebody to do that stuff for you for, let's say, $25 an hour and fit 5 additional coaching clients into your week, your actual profit would be $500. That's $625 minus $125 for the outsourcing works out to $500. So I don't want you to focus on the $125 that you paid to your VA or contractor. Instead, just look at that $500 profit the next time that you are saying to yourself, I can't afford to outsource. Once you understand the beauty of building a strong team of regular contractors, you may find yourself realizing that you just can't afford not to outsource a portion of your business. And really, the formula is simple. Whatever you charge clients per hour or per project, if you hire somebody who is happy to work for less than that hourly rate, then that is how to make money on outsourcing instead of losing it. Okay, all that said, now let's dive into the 5 signs that you are actually ready to outsource. Because the question is, how do you know if you're ready to start outsourcing and working toward building a team? You may not be exactly sure if this is the right step for you right now or if it's the right time. So let's get that figured out for you. Let's look at these 5 signs that I've got for you today. The number one is you're working more than you want to be working. Really, this is number one. You're trying to save money by learning to set up and maintain parts of your business yourself. But what usually happens in this scenario is that you don't really have time to go through the tutorials for whatever software or program it is. Let's say it's your email marketing system. So that doesn't get done anyway, or it gets done with mistakes. which means you start getting impatient. You start thinking of all the things that you should be doing, and you abandon learning how to properly do that particular task. And then this new software or course that you bought, it just sits there on your hard drive, and then you forget that you even own them. When you try to run every aspect of your business yourself, or try to learn how to do everything yourself, you end up working really long hours. You're going to find yourself working on weekends or missing out on things like family time. You're going to eat lunch or even supper at your desk, and sometimes you forget to eat altogether. Or you find yourself answering emails on your phone while you're at a doctor's appointment or your daughter's dance recital. If any of that sounds familiar, then this may be your issue. The problem, of course, with trying to do everything yourself means that things are going to start to deteriorate. And then, of course, paradoxically, insomnia often follows, or you're feeling super tired during your workday, which, of course, is going to mean that you are not very productive. You can't join in conversations about your favorite TV series because, quite frankly, who has got time for TV? You might be canceling lunch dates with friends, and maybe you're trying to send your partner off to the cottage with your kids so that you can tackle more work. You might start to forget things. You are lost completely without your to-do lists. And then you kind of stop keeping to-do lists because you don't even have the time to do that. And one day, you realize you're just not having fun anymore. This is not what you signed up for when you decided to work at home and become an online coach or an entrepreneur. Okay, so the second sign that you are ready to outsource is this. Business growth has stalled. So this is the second sign that something has to change. Your business growth has stalled because when you run an hours for dollars or even a project-based business, the truth is there is a ceiling on how much work you can personally handle. There's a wall and you're going to hit it. Your energy and hours per week are finite. And when that happens, when you hit that wall, you're going to be forced to say no to potential new clients because you just don't have time for them. You might also start feeling like you're falling behind with the latest marketing strategies and platform changes and all kinds of other things that you should be keeping up to date with. And your confidence suffers. All right, that's the second sign, is that business growth has stalled. Now, the third sign that it is time to outsource is that you are starting to resent your business, and you may have even considered going back to getting a job and just giving up on building a business. If you keep on running this way, which can feel like pretty close to running on empty some days, things are just not going to get better. Working harder is never the answer. In fact, it's a recipe for burnout and depression. And worse, you're going to find yourself losing the joy and the passion that made you start your business in the first place. Instead of having a life that's full of purpose, helping clients with positive transformations, you find yourself resenting each client session and wishing that you could just get through the week. This is really when that snowball picks up momentum and starts to get away from you. You're losing sight of your goal. You start finding things that once mattered just don't matter anymore to you. You wonder how others do it, why others are successful, and you start thinking about going, back to work. If you find yourself browsing job postings online, this is a clear sign of distress in your business. You need to stop that snowball now before it completely flattens your business. All right, sign number 4 that it is time to start outsourcing is that client care is suffering. You know that you're not supporting your clients. You may notice a change in the feeling of your sessions with them. You might even start losing a couple of clients, or you might find that they are not growing, which is a sure sign that they're no longer getting what they need from you. If your clients are feeling unsupported and you're ignoring your emails, or you're afraid to even open up your inbox and you're actively avoiding the phone or even canceling appointments, there's a serious issue on your hands. Now, you might be telling yourself that you're just quote unquote too busy, or you intend to take care of certain issues, but you get so distracted by new fires to put out that you never get around to it. Or you're procrastinating, and you might know that you are procrastinating, and then you're beating yourself up for not being able to become proactive again the way that you once were. And this is the point where you feel like you are going under, or you're slipping backwards, and you're starting to feel like a fake or a fraud, someone who is not walking the walk. And all the affirmations in the world just are not going to help you take care of things or feel better for more than a few seconds, because you really are not functioning at peak level, and you are certainly not having any fun. Okay, so the fifth sign that it is time to outsource is that self-care is non-existent. This is the last sign that you need to hire a team and do some outsourcing, is that you are not taking care of yourself. This could look like, instead of working in your pajamas because it's a fun thing to do, you're working in your pajamas because you're way too exhausted to even get dressed. You maybe haven't showered in a couple of days. You never wear makeup anymore. You're fueling yourself with coffee, and it's kind of becoming a bad habit. So I want you to ask yourself, when is the last time that you read a book just for pure fun? When was the last time that you had a relaxing meal and watched a movie with your partner, or spent quality time on a hobby you actually love? Remember hobbies? When was the last time you went for a walk on the beach, or, took a vacation, or whatever it is that for you is self-care? Really, without making the time for these activities and other similar self-care activities, you are going to burn out. It is just a matter of time. And unless you have a team in place to help lighten your load, you will continue to find excuses for not maintaining vital self-care and doing other activities that you used to love. The only thing that you have done wrong here is to ignore the signs that it's time to get help. These 5 signs that I just mentioned are undeniable signs that something has got to give. You really cannot continue to do everything all by yourself. So why have you been trying to do it all by yourself? That's the key question that you need to answer before you go any further. There, of course, can be more than one reason why you haven't yet hired a team. And it's important to take a look at the reasons that are stopping you, because if you don't address them, then you're going to continue to put off hiring some help. So here are some common reasons. One is unfamiliarity with the process. Another is a fear of managing others. Also, some people are hesitant because they don't know what to outsource, or perhaps it's not knowing where to find the right help. Or maybe there is a previous bad experience that you had with trying to outsource. Or maybe there's an issue of financial constraints. Now, the easiest objection to deal with is actually this last one, the financial constraint issue. You might be telling yourself that you can't afford to outsource. And for many coaches, this is usually a sign that you need to raise your own prices. Raising your prices might be one of those things that you've been procrastinating about. If you have fallen into the trap of chaos around this issue, that has likely eaten away at your self-respect and really given you that feeling that you're a fraud or that you aren't as good as all those other coaches out there. Pricing, to be honest, it's one of the biggest struggles that people have in their business, and it all comes back to fear. People are afraid that if they set their prices too high, no one is going to buy, or that their existing customers or clients are going to complain or leave them. Maybe they're afraid of getting too big, and they're afraid that people will find out that they really don't know what they're doing, like a classic imposter syndrome situation. So as a result, many coaches price their products and services so low that they barely make a profit. Then, of course, you don't have room for outsourcing because your margins are just too thin. So let's take a look at another of the common reasons that people put off hiring help or outsourcing. Previous bad experiences with outsourcing. Now, these are usually the result of not being ready and not quite knowing how to outsource. Also, if you tried to outsource on a shoestring budget, you may have hired contractors who worked, kind of on the cheap. Often this type of contractor doesn't do a professional job, or maybe they're as inexperienced as you were. Maybe nobody explained that you really do need to have a good grasp of what needs to be done and how to do it in order to give your contractor proper directions. One of the worst mistakes a new entrepreneur can make is to think that their VA or virtual assistant is going to be able to read their mind. Obviously, they can't. All right, let's tackle another one. Another reason why you may be avoiding outsourcing. Unfamiliarity with the outsourcing process can also intimidate people into putting it off. Now, the best way to get around that particular fear is just to start small. It really is worth mentioning that there are 2 types of outsourcing. There's one-shot task outsourcing, and then there's building a regular recurring team. Now, if you've never outsourced before at all, then I recommend just start by outsourcing a single task and make it a simple, small task while you try out your new contractor or VA. For example, get them to write a blog post for you or create a batch of 5 image quotes. In the meantime, what you absolutely must do, and there's just no getting around this, is interview each contractor or VA that you are thinking of hiring. Don't make the mistake of rushing into hiring someone too fast without doing your due diligence. Talk to them on a Zoom call to get a really accurate feel for whether or not you are a match. This is something that you just can't really assess through email alone. Emails can sometimes be kind of impersonal or misleading. So really get on a call, ideally a Zoom call, so you can talk to them and just find out, make sure that you guys are a match. Also, not knowing what to outsource. This is another sticking point for many entrepreneurs. First of all, I want you to understand that there is a difference between outsourcing a single task on a one-time basis, like I said. So this could be, maybe setting up your email sequences. And there's a difference between that and building a team that will support you on a day-by-day or week-by-week basis. But to determine what you want to outsource, I want you to start with projects that require specialized expertise that you maybe don't have and things that you don't have the time or the inclination to learn. Also, start with projects that will cost you less to pay somebody to do than doing a task yourself. And also, it's a good idea to start with tasks that do not directly make you money. These are the tasks that it definitely pays to outsource because you're leveraging the experience and skills of contractors who specialize in these tasks and responsibilities, and also people who really love to do them. You're freeing up your time to continue making your $100 an hour or whatever it is while you are paying them maybe 20 or maybe 30. Even if you're paying $60 to the 100, you're still making a profit. Of course, that's as long as you do actually fill your freed up time with money-making activities like coaching your clients and enrolling new people into your programs. For example, if you are planning to put out 4 blog posts a week, let's say, you might consider hiring a copywriter to write them for you, in which case you provide the topics and the theme, and they do all the heavy lifting with the actual writing. Now, be sure during the interview with any new contractor to determine exactly what you will provide, like which pieces, what direction are you going to provide, as well as what you will expect your contractor to provide. Now for the final common objection to outsourcing, which is the final reason that many people put it off, which is the fear of managing a team. The best way to handle this is something that I have alluded all along, but it's to start small. Add 1 team member at a time. Just outsource one area of your business at a time and build up experience working with another person. The bottom line here is that all of these concerns and barriers, especially unfamiliarity with outsourcing, it can be dealt with one step at a time. Once you start planning to hire contractors or a VA or a team, you're going to be giving yourself a ticket to expand your business much more quickly and with much more ease than ever before. No, you are not going to be working even more once your team is in place. You're actually going to be working less, and that is a beautiful thing. A VA or a team or contractors, they give you the freedom to focus on the things that you love doing and allows you to enjoy life more along the way. All right, so let's wrap up. I hope that this has given you more clarity than you had before on this issue. The 5 signs that you are ready to outsource are: 1, you are working more than you want to be working in your business. 2, business growth has stalled or bottlenecked. 3 is you are starting to resent your business. 4 is that client care is beginning to suffer. And 5 is self-care is non-existent. All right, I hope that helped you figure out if the time is right for you to get some help. Most coaches wait too long to get on the outsourcing train. So really, if you have said yes to even a couple of these factors, I suggest that you get moving with getting some help in your business and starting to build more ease into your business and get yourself poised for faster growth too. And now I would love to hear from you. After listening to this, are you ready to outsource, to get a VA and to get some help in your business? I would love to know. Go ahead and take a quick screenshot of this episode and post it inside your Instagram stories. And be sure to tag me at Dr. Kim Foster and let me know. Okay, that is a wrap for today. I hope that you found this episode valuable. Thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate you. Stay well and stay safe. And I will talk to you next time. Thanks so much for listening. If you are ready to build a coaching business that gives you freedom and flexibility and allows you to make a meaningful impact in the world, but you're not really sure how to get started or what you need to do to attract the perfect clients and grow your income, then let me be your coach. I would love to teach you my exact framework, my proven method for how I created a freedom-based business for myself and how I've helped dozens of clients do the same thing and create a life that is better than their dreams. Get started by heading over to drkimfoster.com/business training, and there you can sign up for my free online training called The 4-Part Formula for Replacing Your 9-to-5 Income with a Coaching Business You Love.